going to be a brief module where we reflect on your learning so far from the course and just learn about some further resources that you can use in the future to keep growing along your journey. I love this quote by Anton Chekhov. He says, knowledge is of no value unless you put it into practice. So even if you spend the time to learn all this information, if you go forward into your life and you don't actually integrate what you learned or you don't really practice what you learned, then you're not going to really get the full benefit. So I strongly encourage you to take the time right now, get out a notebook. If you have the inner workbook, you can write your answers down right in there and just answer these questions so that you can integrate your experience here and decide where you're going to go from here. I recommend pausing this video while you write down the answers to these questions, and I will meet you on the next slide when you are ready. So now I just want to take the opportunity to talk about next steps in your inner work journey and some resources that you can use to keep growing. First, I want to just go over some benefits of continuing with inner work practice. The first benefit is that you're going to continue feeling more and more conscious and spiritually connected, and also mindful, self-aware, and in the driver's seat of your life. So no longer running on autopilot all the time, no longer having your parts take the steering wheel all the time in ways that you might later regret. You're going to feel like you're actually more inhabiting yourself, have more space and more ability to choose how you are showing up. Another benefit is to become deeply self-loving, even for the parts of you that are difficult to love. We did a little bit of that in this course. We dipped our toes into that, but we can go so much deeper than that. Everybody has inner child parts, shadow parts, parts that they've been at war with for a long time. And by doing the work through inner work practice and internal family systems and parts work, you can really love those parts deeply and help them change and transform. And it's a very beautiful experience. Another benefit is feel calmer and able to work through problems with more clarity and ease. So no longer getting just sidelined by the challenges of life or by what's going on inside of you, being able to respond to the world in a way where you feel adaptable and flexible and able to, bring out the parts of you that are needed in situations and just kind of adapt and move forward. And the last benefit that I want to mention is become more confident in who you are as a person and what you have to offer the world. As you become more and more of an integrated human being, you have more of a concept of who you are, what parts you have. You start to release some of the burdens that the parts of you have so that you feel more harmonious and balanced inside. And from this place, you have so much more power and confidence in the world and who you are and what you have to offer. And that path starts to become a lot more clear. And a lot of people who come to me, they're wanting to know more about who am I and what is my life purpose? What am I put on this earth to do? And so by continuing inner work practice, that really helps you clarify that. Just talking about some ways that you can continue your inner work journey. One is going to be to listen to the Inner Work Talks podcast. At the time I'm recording this video, I'm actually in the process of launching and releasing that. There, you're going to be able to learn more about topics like some of the ones that we talked about, even some new ones. You might learn some new information about things like self-love, shadow work, inner child work, all of that good stuff. Another option is to make the meditations part of your daily life. I highly recommend this. It's hard to feel more conscious and centered if you don't really take the time to check in with your parts and check in with your core self to be able to align. Another thing that you can do is explore more courses. I plan on releasing more courses like this all the time that cover different topics. So stay tuned for that. The best way to do that is to stay on the Inner Work Hub's mailing list and or to follow me on Instagram. My handle is Inner Work Girl. And lastly, consider receiving inner work guidance from me. So inner work guidance is a one-on-one relationship with me where I help you navigate your inner world, answer questions, and help you move more towards this balanced, integrated, harmonious state that I am talking about. So people who do inner work guidance, sometimes they come asking questions about how to do practices like this on their own. They might come to me with stuck points and just more kind of like a teacher-student one-on-one relationship format. A lot of people use the inner work guidance to have me kind of facilitate their inner work process so I can help them as they come up navigate any kind of stuck points or things that are kind of hard to work through. In inner work guidance, I can also help you release your burdens and kind of rebalance your system. There's really no substitute for having individualized help, and people who receive inner work guidance often find that they get farther quicker than they do when they work independently, even though working independently is something that also has a huge benefit as well. Here's just some testimonials for other courses that I've done. I love teaching and I love sharing this information. You might have been able to pick that up from me throughout this course. And I think I might have, yeah, I have another page as well. So if you want to read those testimonials, feel free to pause the video. But I am so passionate about what I offer here, and I can't wait to continue offering more classes, doing the podcast, making more meditations, and I just am really grateful to you for having come to this course and showed up for yourself, and I hope that you got a lot out of it. Please feel free to leave me feedback. I always want to improve what I'm doing, especially if it's going to help my students. So please don't hesitate to reach out. In the course portal, there's going to be some, questions like reflection questions and kind of feedback and stuff. So I would love to hear that from you. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope you got a lot out of the course. I will see you in future courses or maybe elsewhere. Okay, bye.